Hi, my name is Susan. I am a member of the Atheo-Pagan media team. My official title is the glue on. My main role is to kind of keep us organized, but I am going to be making some content that you'll see here. So I wanted to do a short intro video so you know who I am when I do show up. We've got a bunch more content coming in 2023, and I'm excited about that. I wanted to share a bit about my experience with atheopaganism, my religious background, and kind of how I format my practice a little bit. We'll delve more deeply into things, I'm sure, in other videos, but a brief synopsis is that when I was a kid, we didn't really talk in my household about atheism or religion. Either way, any religion, it just wasn't really talked about. I didn't really go to church other than weekends where I would stay the night at my cousin's house, and there was a time that I actually pretended to be sick so that my parents would come get me at 2 a.m. and I wouldn't have to go to church the next day, because for somebody coming to that space with no life experience of it, and as a fairly young kid, it can be kind of scary, and there's a lot of stuff. I wasn't even a Catholic church, it was some sort of Protestant denomination, but it was kind of culty seeming because I wasn't used to any of the rituals that they did or any of the words that they were talking about, and so it can seem kind of scary as a kid. So that was my only experience with religion as a kid, was kind of being a little terrified of it. We didn't also talk about atheism though at my house either. We didn't, I didn't ask any questions like what happens when we die, or who is God, or is there a God? I don't know why. I'm otherwise a really curious person. I guess maybe I felt that I had all my questions answered by popular media in the United States, which is where I live, by the way. I live in the Midwest of the US. And so I didn't ask any questions, and so I didn't get any answers about what my family as a group had believed. I don't know that that's really something that my family, my parents at least, really think about much for themselves. We're just kind of living life and taking things day by day. But fast forward from that at a young age to maybe junior high or high school is when I, wandering around Barnes & Noble, find the New Age section and find all this stuff, which I, as a child, I was one of those dragons, fairies, magic kind of people. So when I discovered that there is this whole religion of paganism that is based around magic, that's going to be a big flag for me. And I got into Wicca and those sorts of things, but at the same time, it still didn't really feel like it fit totally for me, because I have always been a science-based person. My father was an engineer, my mother was a computer programmer. I've always been very heavy into math and science and STEM stuff as a kid, so that part of it kind of got pushed aside a little bit. And at some point I thought to myself, well, there are non-practicing Christians or, culturally Jewish people. Maybe I can be a culturally pagan person, and kind of sat with it that way to kind of reconcile those things that didn't fit. But, moving forward, I just kind of put it aside. Eventually I found Unitarian Universalism and was happy with that, getting the community piece and just saying, oh, well, it doesn't really matter what you believe as long as you're being a good person, which I think that's a pretty fair outlook. But there was still something missing for a while of being me. What is it that I really revere and honor and find value in? So one special day, wandering the interwebs, I was actually on some blogger's website, who I don't actually remember at the moment who they were, because I was immediately taken away through a link on their site to Mark Green's Atheopagan page, and immediately joined the Facebook group, started shouting at my husband, look at these people, these are great people, I love these principles that they've got, and I believe all this stuff, and this is exactly what I've been looking for. So that was during the pandemic, and it was also a really nice time to find a community of people when all the communities of people that I had been used to seeing were taken away from me. So it was a really good timing for me to take some time out, see that this really fit with me, and explore it. At the same time, I also found Druidry, revival Druidry. I will talk about this probably in another video. I am not the only person in the Atheopaganism community who also identifies as a Druid. There's actually an affiliate group, which hopefully we will link in the comments where to get to that if you're interested in it. But I started exploring both of those things at the same time. We'll probably talk in another video about how those two fit together. But it was just a really great time in my life to kind of sit and say, you know, this is me, this is who I am. And I'm happy to say that Atheopaganism is part of that. So what does that really mean for me on a daily basis? You know, being honest, some days it really doesn't mean anything different. I don't get to my daily practice every day. Sorry. It's just how it's going to be for me. I know a lot of people are like that too. But I do have here my little altar space, or my focus. I have a space here. I'm on the floor. You may get to see that a little bit closer in another video and some of the things I do there, but I have it in this little space that is between a doorway and a closet in our guest room. And I just come here when I really need to. Ideally, I would come here when I was doing my daily practice, but you know, life gets in the way. But I just like to take some time to be with myself, be present, recognize the seasons, what's going on outside. If it's, you know, a rainy day or a snowy day, I will probably be in here more often. But most of the time, what my Atheopaganism looks like for me is being outside. Being in our park systems where I live are really great. And I have 2 dogs and a child and a husband, and we like to go visit those places a lot, or at least as much as we can. We like to go camping and hiking. I like to garden a lot. We have a decent amount of property. When we bought our house, we picked it specifically so that I could start doing some suburban gardening. And during the pandemic, we started a permaculture food forest and put in a rain garden and expanded our annual vegetable garden, which hopefully I'll get to show you in another video too, because that is a place where I spend a lot of my time. And I think connection with nature is probably the biggest thing for me that I can do to really live into my Atheopaganism. So I'm excited to share all those things with you. I hope that you're not totally overwhelmed by the amount that I've shared with you today, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.